Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. We're going to be talking about Yakuza 3 getting delisted in this video, which is absolutely egregious, and we're going to cover that in this video. But when I had recorded this video, Yakuza 3 was still available on Steam. Unfortunately, now looking at it, it has been delisted. The confusion comes from the fact that Kiwami 3 is scheduled for a February 12th release, but on Steam, it's one of those games that's releasing a day early. Kiwami 3 is already available, and they delisted Yakuza 3 already. So my apologies on that. You can no longer buy the game unless you decide to scheme yourself and buy the $130 or $120 complete edition, which is just absolute nonsense. Don't do that. Do not reinforce Sega doing crap like this. But it's a complete crap show, and I'll go into that in the video, just, if you did want to buy it standalone. It is unfortunately no longer available, so it is what it is, but, yeah, the point stands. Sega is scheming when it comes to this, and, very much is, heightened by the fact that Kiwami 3 made a lot of changes that people are not a fan of. So that'll do it for me. Enjoy the video, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Here to give you guys a heads up on a Steam title, a pretty notable one that is delisting tomorrow. It's delisting in the sense that you can't buy it standalone anymore. You can still buy the Yakuza Complete series, but who is trying to spend $129 on the Yakuza Complete series? So, yes, Yakuza Kiwami 3 is officially being released tomorrow, and Yakuza 3 Remastered is getting delisted. I was already very against Yakuza 3 getting delisted. Obviously, it goes without saying. I don't see how this benefits the player whatsoever. This is literally something done that only benefits Sega, the publisher. And I bring up Sega. I know that it's super popular right now to crap on RGG, but Sega has done this in the past with other games that have gotten upgraded releases like Sonic X Shadow Generation, so I do believe that this is a Sega decision. I don't know, there's a lot of reasons to crap on RGG right now. I just think this is more so, as far as this game getting delisted, a Sega decision. And I was already very upset with it. I was down on it because you guys know I'm all about game preservation, keeping games up, etc., etc. However, after now that we have come to the realization of what Yakuza Kiwami 3 is, and there was already some criticism of that game for a wide variety of reasons, but now that the reviews are coming out and it is abundantly clear that the narrative is drastically being shifted. In fact, it is being shifted so much to the point where it looks like Yakuza Kiwami 3 is going to spin off into a new line of Yakuza titles that tell its own story that's separate from the mainline Yakuza universe, if I am understanding this correctly. Kiwami 3 is officially out tomorrow, and I have yet to play it, and I'm not going to get to it right away. There's just a lot of other games to play right now. Neo 3, I gotta get through Code Vein 2, and I even skipped on Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined for now, and I don't know when I'm gonna get to that, so there's just a lot on my plate right now as far as games to play. Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon just cooked me for a while, 80-hour games and all that. So Kiwami 3 is gonna hit the bench for a little bit, but from what I can tell, the story is being very much shifted, and as far as remakes and changing the story goes, I'm a little bit different than a lot of other people in the sense that I don't really care about that. If you want to change the story, go for it. Final Fantasy VII Remake is a really interesting game because some people view it as a sequel, some people view it as a remake, whatever the case may be, however you want to view that game. When Final Fantasy VII Remake was coming out, a lot of people wanted a one-to-one remake of the original Final Fantasy VII with updated visuals, etc., etc. Maybe some updated gameplay, but, from a content standpoint, being very reminiscent of the original and being identical to the original. When it came to be that the story was being shifted in the 7 Remake, I personally was very excited for it. What I always said about that game was that either it's going to be really good or it's gonna be a train wreck. I'm gonna be entertained either way, and the original game will exist. That's the key point to all of it working from my vantage point. If they want to change the story, the original game still needs to exist. And yes, Yakuza 3 Remastered will exist in the form of a $129 complete series, but that pretty much should be not existing since you're gating people out of buying the game. And before the bandits come out and be like, you've had so many years to buy Yakuza 3, how could you have not bought it? I didn't know that buying video games had a time timeline and a shelf life to it. That we only have a window of time to buy video games, and after that, oh, you're not allowed to buy this game, it expires. What kind of precedence does that set? Do you think that is beneficial to the customer whatsoever if you want to normalize that or even sweep that to be okay that you just have a timeline? I remember when this happened with Horizon Zero Dawn, it was more so a PlayStation thing, and people were like, you've had years and years to buy Horizon Zero Dawn, why do you care that the price point is going up? You should have already bought it. Like, what? How does that value the customer whatsoever? What do you, like, I don't know, maybe they had limited finances. I've talked to people where literally dropping $10 on a game for that moment in their life isn't something they could do because they have responsibilities. Why should they be punished? Because they decided not to buy a game in the timeline. Maybe they were playing other games. Maybe they didn't even hear about the franchise before. Like, why is it that everybody in this window of time that apparently they are allowed to just decide, okay, this is the window of time that you're allowed to buy this game. After that, F you gotta pay extra, you gotta buy the remastered release, you gotta buy the remake instead. Like, what are we actually talking about when that argument is being made? And that argument is made enough that I've seen it enough that I do need to push back on that. But that does set an awful precedent because when we live on a platform like PC and it's digital gaming, I get it that you could sail the high seas and you can get access to these games. I'm not talking about that. But when you're talking about digital gaming, the publisher does have a lot of power. And if you were to tell me 5 to 10 years ago what are ways that publishers can abuse this power that they have over you when it comes to digital gaming, this really wouldn't be something I would think of, that they would release remakes and then delist the originals so you're forced to buy the remake. And again, I don't care about the narrative shifts that much. Honestly, to me, it makes a game more worthwhile to go through because I already know the original's narrative. Oh, you want to shift the narrative a little bit? Alright, I'll buckle up and I'll play through it, and if it sucks, I'll laugh at it, and the original still exists. Could you imagine if Final Fantasy VII Remake came out and they delisted the original Final Fantasy VII? It would be pandemonium, and I get it that the shifts between, you could make the argument that the shifts between FF7 and FF7 Remake are orders of magnitude greater than Yakuza 3 Remaster and Kiwami 3. But the shifts, by the looks of it, of Yakuza 3 Remastered and Kiwami 3 are pretty sizable, and even if there weren't any shifts, I still wouldn't want the original experience to be delisted because that's something that a lot of people would want to have. That's something a lot of people would want as something that they could go through. People like to play the original games, and there's honestly a little bit of charm in dated mechanics for people. Sometimes people find that worthwhile because it's a relic of a bygone era, and they like to go through games that are a little bit dated, that maybe don't hold your hand as much. Whatever the case may be, whatever quality of life improvements you want removed from a game, or perceived quality of life improvements you want removed from a game, that should be well within your right to play the original, and them having the power to just delist it like this, so they can push you to buying a $60 version of this game, mind you. This version is $19.99, and they didn't put Yakuza 3 on sale in the last couple of weeks, at least I don't believe so. Yeah, they didn't. You had to buy it from Fanatical, and you could only get it like 10% off. It wasn't even like a big discount. So they didn't even put it on sale. So they really wanted to make sure, oh, we're not going to give you a pathway. Like, go buy the $59.99 release. And you know what? I would have said okay on that. I wouldn't have said okay on it, but I would have been somewhat understanding if it was a legit one-to-one remake, or mostly one-to-one remake, where a lot of the content was preserved and the narrative played out in the exact same way. But you're talking about the narrative being greatly shifted as well. Like, when you're adding that element into the picture as well, I think it's absolutely egregious to be delisting Yakuza 3 Remastered like this, and it's such a bad look. And in terms of talking about a studio, and I did say that I do believe that this is a Sega decision rather than an RGG decision as far as games getting delisted and whatnot and being baked into getting them only via the complete series, because again, this happened with Sonic. I have not seen a development studio nuke their goodwill so quickly as RGG has done over the past few months, and past few weeks, really. Past few weeks has just been a crap show with the Yakuza Kiwami 3. I do think some of the takes are absolutely hyperbolic. People being like, this is the end of Yakuza, Yakuza is dead. Bro, Pirate Yakuza was really good. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth was really good. What was before that? Like a Dragon Ishin was received fairly well. Lost Judgment was really good. Like, okay, they have one misfire in the whole handling of the Yakuza 3 situation. I totally agree with that. But to say that the whole franchise is now nuked, I think is pushing the cart way before the horse. I get that sometimes we're a prisoner of the moment, and this one situation is absolutely egregious. I will give you that, but I don't think this is indicative of the overall picture of Yakuza as well. I think when the next mainline Yakuza is out, when Ichiban is back, by the way, when Stranger Than Heaven is out as well, I know that's not a Yakuza game, but it's an RGG title. I think that'll have a lot of interest. I don't think it's the absolute end of the world. I do think that the whole handling of the situation was an absolute fumble. Not just with what happened with Dark Tides. Like, whatever. You want to change the story? Fine. Like, I don't really care about that. Like I said, preserve the original. Leave the original on Steam, because this sets an awful precedent for what a lot of these publishers can do in the future. Sega's the only one that I've seen really do it to this extent, where it's this egregious, but they're not absolutely the only ones, in the sense that I remember when Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered came out, the original Assassin's Creed 3 was getting delisted, and you had to pay the juiced up prices for Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. Horizon Zero Dawn, if you want to play the original, you have to get the remastered version, which, by the way, instead of paying like $15, you have to pay $30 on sale, and it was $50 when it came out. Like, they're getting pretty crafty with how they kind of get money out of the players. I gotta give them credit, because a lot of people don't see it. Like, your boy sees it, a lot of people don't see it. You know, fake early access, a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people don't see situations like this, or see situations like the Horizon stuff, or the Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, but they're getting pretty crafty. They up prices of games without, you know, making it as visible to people, in the sense that, oh, it's not games going from $70 to $80, but we'll do this to get more revenue from people. It's kind of schemy, but we'll do it, and people probably won't notice. Well, I'll notice, and my 5,000 to 10,000 people that watch these videos, they'll notice as well, because I'm bringing it to the table, and obviously other people bring it up as well. It's not like I'm the only one, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, I will catch you guys in the next one, and thanks for watching. Peace! Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button, so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.